Welcome to Keto on the Couch, live edition. This is episode 121.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are two crazy ketos.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome.
Yes, welcome. If you're new here, say hi down below.
Now here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. And we talk about various keto topics. And then every Monday, we sit down on the couch for Keto on the Couch. We just kind of talk about what's going on in our lives for the week.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com. And that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week. So make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon. And that way, every single time we upload a new video, you'll be alerted to it!
Thank you for bearing with us.
Yes.
Technical problems.
Heath is saying it's mandatory Meaty Monday. It's mandatory Joe and Rachel have technical issues.
But you know what? That's all right. We're not perfect people, so it's sometimes I like the fact that we get to spotlight that. Everybody gets to see we're not perfect.
I am going to let you keep talking for a minute. Well, you can like kind of read comments, but you can't have the mouse.
Oh, okay.
So just say hello to everybody because I've got to fix this piece.
I can actually do a couple of announcements before we get started.
Okay.
So just make sure if you could just click on the comments really quick so I can see if they can hear us.
They can hear us because
sound.
I can see right there they can hear us.
Okay. All right. I lost you guys. Yeah, sorry guys. It just decided not to work this morning. So I have a couple of announcements. The first one comes to us from Goody Beats. We love Goody Beats. And he wanted us to share that he is having a special event. It's taking place Saturday, July 17th. 3 to 7 p.m. It's going to be at the Hayes County Barbecue, 1612 South Interstate 35 in San Marcos, Texas, in case you are near that area. And the first 50 people are going to get some serious swag. This is being put on by Keto Coach and also Gaines Bakery, so you know it's going to be good.
It's going to be good. Yeah, we're really excited about that. We actually were supposed to go, but it turned out to be the same exact weekend that we're going to be in Utah.
Yeah.
So we had to make a decision, and we wanted to go to Utah.
Yes. We're heading that way.
So yeah, we had some technical difficulties, but I got it now. For some reason, our video was repeating, but that's okay. So we had such a great weekend.
It was a beautiful weekend.
It was Anthony's 21st birthday. Yesterday was Rachel's mom's 72nd birthday. And we had this big, giant, 70-foot long water slide that was 40 feet tall. And what happened is we had purchased this. Anthony's like, I want that for my birthday. And when your 21-year-old comes to you and says, for my birthday, which is on July 4th weekend, I don't want to go out drinking with my friends and celebrating that I can actually legally drink. I want to have a water slide and act like a 10-year-old and have all of my 20-something friends come over and act like 10-year-olds. I was like,
that is
have at it.
Money well spent.
Yes. So what happened though, it was really awesome. God bless us because it was such a busy weekend for the Bounce House Company. They're like, can we drop it off on July 1st?
And we're like, heck yes.
Yes. So for 4 days.
Shenanigans aplenty.
We were going down this thing and it was a blast to watch. Here's Rachel actually just going down it because we did get a little silly.
A little silly.
Anthony poured like a half a gallon of dish soap on it. And then we were going down on boogie boards. And for your comments, just to let you know, the way we do a Keto on the Couch live is we'll kind of scan the comments as we go along, but we will kind of pick on them after we get through like our whole normal Keto on the Couch. If you have something you really want us to notice, you can use the super chat feature down below. That'll like start flashing our screen and stuff. But what was really nice about that bounce house is there were so many non-scale victories.
There really were.
Because this thing is 40 feet tall. And to climb up it, you're in this inflatable bounce house. Okay, and you can see you've got to grab onto these railings and you got to put your toes on these little inflatable pillows.
They're tiny.
And you're climbing almost straight up. And then you go down very fast. And it is just a lot of fun to do. And I was thinking that 3 years ago, I could not have done that.
There's no way. Well, could we have fit side by side on a slide?
Because we were actually going down it side by side. But the best non-scale victory of the entire weekend was this right here.
The birthday girl.
What a non-scale victory. Rachel's 72-year-old mom
Tomorrow.
climbing a 40-foot tall inflatable water slide.
We told her not to jump, but she's totally gonna jump.
Oh, I know she's gonna jump. Here she goes.
Make sure you get it on tape and
We
put
got it.
insurance. Right.
She's 72.
Yeah.
She has come out of more than 20 years of type 2 diabetes.
Yeah.
Take that, diabetes.
Yes.
She's going down the water slide. She doesn't have the inflammation and the joint pain that she used to have. Like, it's a miracle to watch it.
There's no way she could have done that 2 years ago.
No way.
There's no way.
Because there's no way we could have done it 2 years ago.
And it was funny because we had these two guys driving around in a go-kart, or not in a go-kart, in a golf cart, and they pulled up and they were like, that thing is big. Like, you're not going down. I'm like, oh, not only are we going down it, like, Rachel's mom is going down it. And they're like, well, do you have life insurance on her? Like, there's no way I would go down that. I'm like, they're like, oh, she just did it once, right? I'm like, no, she did it like 40 or 50 times. And also after Anthony added soap to the water.
Yes. Hold on to those handles. But yeah, it was such a victory. So I can't tell you how much exactly in pounds you and I and my mom weigh this morning. Does it matter?
No.
Does it matter when you look at that and
No.
you see
But the scale is down.
The scale is down, but like we're living. We are living
That's
a
right.
life and we're not on the couch anymore. I mean, we're on keto on the couch, but we're not just sitting by letting life happen to us anymore.
That's a good metaphor because people ask us all the time, like, why do you call keto on the couch if you don't do it on the couch? Well, first, because if you're new, we started on the couch and then Christmas came around and we liked doing it on the bench, but we're no longer on the couch anymore,
Yeah.
right? We don't have to lay back and be like, I can't move on a couch. We can sit straight up on a bench now.
And there's so many people that's the truth for them as well.
Yeah.
And it's exciting and it propels us to continue trying to get the message out because we want everybody off the couch.
That's right.
It's time to get off the couch.
You want to show some of the food we had? Because not only did he want a water slide, he wanted a good old-fashioned keto barbecue. So I woke up at 3 in the morning and I started making a brisket. So that's the flat portion of the brisket. Started it at 3 a.m. and I want to say it was done around 1:30. And then of course to go with brisket, you have to have burnt ends.
You have to.
And of course, before the burnt ends actually hit the table for all the 20-year-olds, we grabbed a bunch of them.
Oh heck yeah. When you said like it's required. I remember that commercial used to be, there ought to be a law. There is a law. You must have burnt ends.
And in addition, we had 5 racks of ribs. We had a bunch of, I think these are the baby back ribs. And then we also had the spare ribs. And we also had pulled pork, which we went to Sam's Club
Yes,
and
what a
we went to
find.
BJ's. We could not find, nobody had any pork butts or anything to make pulled pork.
No buts.
So Sam's Club, I'll put a picture of it on Facebook later. I forgot to grab a picture today. Sam's Club sells a pulled pork in their refrigerated section. It comes in a little container. It's 2 pounds of pulled pork with no sauce. It is 0 carb. It is some of the cleanest ingredients. I want to say it's like pork, salt, pepper, and water or something like that.
It was delicious.
It's really delicious. And then you add your own salt. And it wasn't even, add your own sauce. It wasn't even expensive. It was like $12. So that's like $6 a pound. And it's already
Effortless.
cooked.
Yeah.
So we threw it with a little bit of Alterna Sweets barbecue sauce into the crock pot with just 3 packages of them. And we didn't put much sauce because we wanted them to be able to sauce whatever they wanted. And, you know, put it in there for like 15 minutes. It warmed it up. We put it out. It was great. And you know what I thought was great?
Yeah.
Is that we had regular barbecues sauce, Alterna Sweets. We had the Sweet Baby Ray's sugar-free. And nobody touched the regular stuff. They were all pouring the different sugar-free keto versions of barbecue sauce on
But
it.
they're just pouring on because they're not noticing it. They're just grabbing a bottle and like they'll recognize Sweet Baby Ray's, and
Right.
so they're just squirting it on
But
there.
nobody knew.
Nobody came back and was like,
Doesn't taste rewarding.
That doesn't seem right because they're not looking at that. So that was an easy switch out for a whole bunch of 20-something-year-olds.
Now, did you have more announcements? I know we already mentioned. I'll show one more time the Goody Beats thing.
Yes, and if you go, tell them that Two Crazy Ketos sent you, because that way we'll always get the 411 on gatherings. You want to make sure that we get that information out. So we're continuing with our Chop Challenge this month, and today we are wading into a little bit of trickier waters. It's Clam Day.
Yep.
Clams Day. I tried to start out real easy with like eggs.
I gotta go to the store and find some clams.
Hamburger. Like, I figured these are all things that everybody could participate, but now we're kicking it into second gear. So it's Clam Day.
That was the other thing, which we didn't have pictures of that we had yesterday, is we had hamburgers because Rachel got, you ready for this? 5 pounds of ground beef. 5 pounds of ground beef for just $2.10.
Yeah.
Not a pound. 5 pounds for $2.10.
With special meat.
It was really special meat.
We got some special meat.
But they all loved it. It was 75% ground beef. She got it. Was like on clearance.
It was very fatty and delicious.
Yeah. Now it did fill up the Blackstone cup in the back, cooking them all.
Yeah. It was so much grease.
What else you got?
The other thing I wanted to say was, because I know for some people the Chop Challenge this month is really, really challenging because of some of the new ingredients.
Yes.
So I tried to sweeten things on the recipe side, and our daily recipe, which is on our website every single day, it drops at like midnight, is twocrazyketos.com. You'll find the Chop Challenge ingredient, and you'll also find our daily recipe, and they're all gonna be sweet this month.
Let me show you where all that is while you're pulling up the next one. So now, one thing I did want to say, if you are going to be in the Utah area next weekend,
I hope so.
There is going to be a meetup over at the Keto Chow headquarters with us. I'll have Chris put all of the information up for all of that. So we'll be there. I think we're going to be doing a barbecue and stuff like that. So if you go over to twocrazyketos.com, every day. So sometimes we may be late with Instagram, but every day this shows up at midnight. So you'll have over here, what is the ingredient for clams, or for the Chop Challenge for the day, which is today's clams. And then on this side is the daily recipe. And that is programmed to go up automatically every single day at midnight Eastern time. So if you're like, hey, it's a little late, you know, I forgot what the challenge is. I didn't see it on Instagram. Did I miss it? Just head on over to our website. And we do that also for people who don't do a lot of social media stuff.
Well, and you know, this is a great time to participate in something like this. And you don't think it's going to attract new people to the keto lifestyle, but you know, you didn't start thinking about your weight until there was a challenge.
That's right.
It was a challenge with the men's group at church that got you started, and you're like, okay, I need to start on some sort of eating plan too.
Right.
And that's how you got involved in keto. So you never know what little seed that you can plant. And something fun makes it, you know, more interesting. And if people are looking for recipes for all of these ingredients, you definitely want to check out Hungry Heath. Him and Shelly, the warden, are doing some amazing recipes and videos for that. And then every Friday, there's a get together. And so for this month, you know, they're going to spotlight a different ingredient from the Two Crazy Ketos family. And, you know, that's exciting. Yeah. It makes it fun. And
they put it up on Facebook, all their pictures, which their pictures are on point.
On point.
Like, I'm sorry, but they are starting to compete with Renee.
You mean Lisa.
Oh, for Lisa. That's right. For
Lisa and Heath. Yeah, it's like
they're competing now.
But in this fantastic way.
Yeah. Now, speaking of meat, I wanted to make a couple of comments on our carnivore video the other day. We did have some vegans infiltrate the thread and start commenting on different people's comments. And I want you guys to know we have your back. If you see something like that, if you see somebody who is making comments, just coming in saying hateful things like if you eat meat, you're gonna get cancer and die, let us know about it. There is a little thing on there that you can report it or send us a message or any of our moderators and let us know, and we will handle it. Usually I will handle it with a comment back to them, followed up by, once I know they've received their comment, their inability to be able to post anymore. But I make sure they get my response first.
Well, and I mean, the moderators are fantastic. I think about the Wright family really saved us. They sent us a message one time where, when we realized people sometimes will put a naughty link.
Yeah, you get porn things in there.
And so we were able to, and now I'm able to keep a lookout for it. So we don't always know and can handle it quick unless we get a message on it. So we definitely want to be vigilant about that.
Yeah, but just let us know, send us an email. You can send an email to either Joe or Rachel at twoCrazyKetos.com and say, hey, there's somebody in here that's like leaving stupid comments, and we will go in and we'll take care of it. Sometimes we don't see the comments right away. I 3 or 4 times a day, I'll pick it up and I'll start going through all the comments. We wanted to, mention that. I did love some of the response on that video, which was what the whole point of it was.
It's talk.
It's you do you, right? You do what is sustainable for you. And there were a lot of different people. Some people are doing complete carnivore. Some people are doing ketovore. Some people are doing carnivore where they also add sweeteners. And that was the whole point. It's okay to do it the way you want to do it.
And our prayer is always that it will continue in this community the way that you guys have set it up. There's just so much integrity in this community, and I love the fact that we get to have discussions, not dissing and cussing. Mm-hmm. That's what I like.
I saw a comment here. Crystal said, I'm new to your channel, loving your conversation, going to enjoy reading through your website. Water Slide Find was awesome, and your challenges are a great idea.
Thanks so much for being here, Crystal.
Well, welcome to the family.
Welcome.
Mary said, some of my family are joining me. My nieces have trouble getting their husbands on board. A meat challenge is a great idea.
Nothing like bringing meat into it. And you've got a conundrum, right? It's like a family escape room. How are we going to get around these sardines? Like, what we gonna do with these clams? And I think it's fun too, even for if you're having family come in for a summer trip. I know my mom is watching the nephews more during the summer months because you can just have fun. How funny would it be to, instead of baking cookies with grandma loaded with sugar, and then grandma has to deal with those babies the rest of the day,
right,
to be like, we've got to make something with clams, and just all the giggles and the ew that happens first, and then you get in there and you have a chance to problem solve. I love that.
Yeah, it's funny because people ask us, like, how do you do parties and stuff with keto and stuff? And it's just like the way we did. And this is what we went to the boys to say, here's the deal. We will supply all the meat. We are doing a keto party. If you and your friends want some non-keto foods, it's on you. Tell your friends, we'll give you all the meat. You guys can bring your sides and stuff. But the funny part is we do this every time, and the sides show up and nobody eats them.
I think it's hilarious watching everybody drop off potato chips, and then it's almost like it's their car keys. They're going home with the same unopened bag of chips. We had one person bring basically like one of those Bob Evans containers of mashed potatoes, and we had somebody bring a that same kind of side of macaroni and cheese. And do you know that I scraped those two things into the garbage?
Yeah.
There was like 20 people.
The only thing that's left
couldn't
is
even finish
ribs.
that much.
The only thing we have left is some ribs, and we had 5 racks. And I mean 5 big racks of ribs. So
well, and it was interesting because some of the young people that were here, they're young adults
living
in college
on their own
age, and they're like, they don't want a single carb. They're like, this is the stuff we can't afford to eat.
Right. We're living on peanut butter and jelly right now.
And ramen noodles. Like this is fancy and precious to us. So like that's, put it in that perspective, because sometimes we're like, man, I wish I could go back to some of that garbage eat. They're like, when given the choice, and after you've been living off of this garbage, like, I want the fancy food.
Right. I mean, that's the thing, is that most people think about like, oh, well,
I'll upset
you have
people.
this and it's expensive. I'm like, the bottom line, why are most of us eating ramen noodles and stuff pre-keto? Because it was cheap.
Yeah.
Right? It was cheap. But then when you start not eating that stuff, you start realizing, I did spend a lot of money on that garbage, but now you're not spending the money on the garbage, so you can put that towards your meat, and you're not spending as much money on medicine and doctor's visits and all of that. So now you can really afford the meat, right?
Seriously.
The only other thing I did want to mention was the studio. You may notice a little bit of an echo on some of our videos for the next couple weeks.
We're sorry in advance.
The back wall is sort of done. I painted it. They were supposed to give me a flat paint after I painted the entire wall. Notice it's a satin paint.
Wait a minute.
I gotta repaint that because this way we can shine lights, but I see a shine right there.
Oh.
But right now all the walls are bare, so there's no soundproofing in this room. We're gonna get like sound panels, but we gotta finish all the other walls before we do it. So we apologize. There may be a little bit of echo on some of the videos, and that's just because it's a big hollow room right now.
2 Crazy Ketos is under construction, but still open for business.
That's a good one. Let's do this. Let's take a quick commercial break. We can come back. We can get through last week's comments and get into this week's comments.
What was your favorite bite at the 4th of July event? And I'd like to see in the comments down below, what was your favorite bite on 4th of July?
I didn't get much because they ate it all before we could get to it, except for the burnt ends that we held out and didn't hand over.
It was funny. We were so strategic. We fed them all the other meat, including the brisket itself, and then brought out the burnt ends. And a lot of the kids, they didn't even know what that was.
I don't think the burnt ends would have actually hit the table had it not been for Anthony in front of everybody going, "Where's the burnt ends?"
Yes.
Like that's the best part of the brisket.
So they're like, "Oh, is this good?" And so Anthony's, they're throwing elbows at that point for the burnt ends, but they were like already so full. We were like, that was strategic because it meant that mom and dad got some.
Yeah. Let's get into the comments. We're going to start off with our Keto College Adjunct Professor of the Week. Now, if you're new to our channel, Keto on the Couch is all about our subscribers. That's why we started this segment. We like to celebrate your wins, and every week we like to go into our Facebook group and find a post that we found really inspirational. And this week's Keto College Adjunct Professor of the Week is Ellen.
Hey, Ellen.
Ellen just put this simple post up. She said, sage advice. You ready?
Mm-hmm. 8 things to remember when going through tough times. 1, everything can and will change. 2, you've overcome challenges before. 3, it's a learning experience. 4, not getting what you want can be a blessing. 5, allow yourself to have some fun. 6, being kind to yourself is the best medicine. 7, other people's negativity isn't worth worrying about. 8, and there is always, always, always something to be thankful for. That is true.
I'm going to put this as big screen so we can see it.
Man, we need to cut that out and like put that somewhere in the house.
It needs to be like our motto, right?
Yeah,
like
frame that
everywhere in the house.
Yeah, because I feel like every obstacle where you get like frustrated or your emotions is tied to one of those things.
That's right. So thank you very much for that post, Ellen. Now we do have our subscriber of the weeks this week. We actually have 2 of them this week. And again, if you're new to our channel, we have a Facebook group. Please go join it. There are, I don't even know how many people in there at this point. And
almost 9,000.
They're there to help celebrate your wins, to kind of motivate you, to keep you going, to pick you up out of the dumps when you're having a bad day, to share wins, to share recipes and sales and deals, answer questions. So please go join. We have some awesome moderators. There's no keto police in there. There's no promoting of multi-level marketing companies in there. It's just a lot of people having fun. And we ask you, share your story. And I know we say this every week, but there's so many people, and I was one of these people that are afraid to share their story.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, I don't know.
Who
but
am I?
Don't understand the impact that your story is going to make on someone. There is someone out there right now that they can't identify with anybody but you. And until you share your story, they're going to think they can't do this. But when you do, they're going to be like, oh, there's other people that experience what I experienced. So please go share your story. And if you don't have Facebook, you can send it to us at stories@twocrazyketos.com. So our first subscriber of the week this week is Edward.
Hey, Edward.
And Edward said, what a difference 20 months make. Are you ready for this?
Yes, I am. Oh my gracious.
Is that amazing?
Wow. I love that they actually have proof of the date too.
Right?
That is
You don't
amazing.
even recognize either one of them.
You have to replace that ketchup with Jesus shirt though. That is hilarious.
Caleb has that shirt.
That
I
is
wanted to buy that
hilarious.
shirt, and all of a sudden he orders it. I'm like, And there's a rule in our house for the boys. Rachel's like, this is the stupidest rule
It is
ever.
the stupidest rule.
But none of us will own the same clothes that the other person has. So we can have, except for yesterday.
Yes.
We did the dorky thing.
We did the dorky thing, family t-shirts where like all the boys are wearing like the blue shirt that's the same and the girls are wearing the red.
Yeah, but we didn't do the Old Navy ones. We did the ones from Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah.
Because they were really, really cool. They were like patriotic. I mean, they were awesome, but yeah.
We're nerdy.
We're a little nerdy.
We're nerdy and we like it.
So congratulations, guys. You look awesome.
Yeah.
Next subscriber of the week is Rebecca.
Hey, Rebecca.
Rebecca said, when you finally have confidence to wear a white dress.
Oh, yeah.
Starting weight, 200 pounds. Current weight, 150.
Oh my gracious, how lovely. What a beautiful figure she has.
Yeah, she looks great.
I don't know if I will ever be in the place where I will feel safe to wear a white dress. Has nothing to do with maybe what I look like in it, but I'm afraid of white because I will sit down on a plate of spaghetti sauce. No matter what, it's just there. Like I just sit down, oh, I just sat in a plate of it. Yes, I tracked stains.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. So let's see, Older Pennsylvania said trolls must be such sad people that they feel that they have to do stuff like that.
Hurt people,
hurt people. We say that all the time. But some people, they just want to come in and start. And that's why a lot of times it's best to ignore them until they start and I will usually ignore them and then we'll delete them when they're really being trolly until they start making comments which are flat out not true, and those comments may impact one of you guys and get you off of keto or may start questioning things like meat is going to cause cancer.
Right.
That's where I'm going to politely address it with them and then make sure that they can't put those comments back up anymore.
But we won't ever talk naughty. We won't
we're not
misrepresent
naughty
you.
or mean to them or anything like that. We correct them. Like one person saying that meat is like veganism is much healthier and you can't get all your vitamins from meat, and you can get all your vitamins from meat. You can't get all your vitamins from just vegetables.
Yeah.
So, little things like that. Okay, so let's get into last week's comments, and the first one is from Joanne.
Hey Joanne, she says, I'm so grateful that I found your channel 8 months ago. You both have helped me so much in feeling grateful for all the non-scale victories in my life. Rachel, I hope you never stop smiling and being so happy. Thanks so much, Joanne. What a nice thing to say. Yeah. There's a song that I like called Alabaster Box, and it's like, you don't know what it took for me to get to this position of joy. Mm-hmm. And I think about all of the years previously that I had so much crippling anxiety, so much depression. I felt very discouraged. I really did not have a lot of hope for the future because of medical issues that we had in our family. So yeah, I mean, now that life has changed so drastically, I'm just so thankful. I'm grateful. I wake up every day with a merry heart, and I'm hoping it spreads.
Yeah. Next one is from Sally.
Hey, Sally.
Sally, I am the same. I love to be able to do more things, like going down a water slide.
Right?
She said playing is great. Getting my order from Amazon or wherever when I order keto items or kitchen toys to help make keto items is a joy.
That's very true, right?
Yeah.
Like if you have something to get excited about, I mean, when you start out like working out, it's exciting to try to get some new clothes or equipment or something to get you started. And yeah, when you have a little treat that comes in, it's just a really nice special thing, keeps you going.
I think it was Shauna this week that had a post on the Facebook group that the modern day ice cream man for keto adults is Amazon.
That is so flipping true. Is that like a super true statement?
Like that's our modern day, like the ice cream man is coming. UPS is on its way. And now they're like 7 days a week.
Santa's at the door.
I actually feel bad for a lot of the postal workers because I see a lot of the postal workers now. They're delivering 7 days a week. I mean, Federal Express and UPS never used to deliver on Sunday. Now they have to.
And we, keep a cooler outside. It's hot out there. Yep. It's really hot out there. If you're somebody that you get a lot of Amazon deliveries, get a little igloo cooler. Now they're going to be on sale now that 4th of July is over.
That's right.
Just put some ice in there, have some bottled water. Let's just keep them hydrated.
Yeah. Next one is from Melissa.
Hey, Melissa. She says, I was so excited with my Amazon purchases too. I kept tracking them all the way to the doorstep. I was most excited about my ice cream maker. I'm so glad you got one. I have used it every day since I got it. That is awesome. I don't blame you because it is hot.
It is ridiculous. Yesterday was so hot.
We did not get the normal rain. I'm thankful because we were able to stay outside all day.
I think it's the first 4th of July where we didn't have rain.
But I think everybody's nursing a little bit of rosy cheeks this morning.
Yeah. Next one is from Oval.
Hey, Oval.
Oval said, I was under stress for 2 months and I gained 25 pounds. And even though I wasn't eating any different, my sleep was horrible. Blood sugar was 150 to 180. Now that the stress is much less, I've been sleeping better and my blood sugar is between 90 and 120.
Wow.
I'm so thankful. And that is something we talk about, and this is something that I have experienced and Rachel's experienced for the last year. Our eating didn't change at all last year when COVID started. And there was no change at all. What changed was increased stress, increased amount of work, and less sleep. And we watched us put 15, 20 pounds on. And so it had nothing to do with what we were eating. It had to do with just all of that stress, because the stress is going to release your cortisol and you're going to end up just not being able to control your blood sugars and all of that.
Well, and I mean, we're super advocates of taking a friendentory every now and then and just realizing, like, who's around me? Are they, speaking life into me? Are they encouraging me? Am I doing better because they're in my life? And in the same, way, I think it's important to take a schedule inventory and see, are there ways that I can maybe cut out some of the stresses in my life? Do I need to reorganize what I'm doing? Do I need to say to my family and friends, hey, I need you to get that phone call in by like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, because I need to start winding down. I can't, take an 8 or 10 o'clock call about, all of these things I need to do, or have, and stay up really late.
Yeah. Now, I know that Chris and Miriam are going to have to get off in a little while because they have their live stream at 11:15. But I did want to bring up something when you're talking about taking your inventory. And we talked about this with our Patreons during their live stream on Saturday. And it was Miriam brought this thing up during one of their daily live streams last week. And
really
it got me
us
into purging. And it had nothing to do with the fact that we were telling our Patreons that we have one of those under the bed totes that goes under your bed. And I was going through it the other day, and we have wallpaper borders, not the whole wallpaper, just the border rolls of them from the house that we have not lived in for 7 years. Like, why am I storing all that? And not even like seven rolls of the same one. Like one where this was this room and this was this room. Why am I saving those? We don't even have that house anymore. Yeah. I mean, in fact, I saved them after we took those borders down in that house. I think they've been there for 12 years. Yeah, easily. It got me into thinking about purging everything else, and something else she had talked about, because she watches, I guess it's Minimal Mom on YouTube. And she was talking about like keeping clothes that you think I'm going to get into. And I'm not talking about a set of goal pants or something like that. I'm talking about, I have 15 to 20 pairs of jeans that I can't wear. Okay, they're a size 28. When I got down to my absolute lowest weight, which was probably a little bit too thin for me, because no 50-year-old man should be wearing a size 28 when you're 6 foot tall. But I'm saving those going, I'm going to get back into those one day. But you know what they're really doing? They're sitting in my drawer staring at me, or 3 drawers. Aside from the fact that they're taking up room, they're looking at me going, you're a failure. You used to be in those. You used to be able to wear these pants, and now you can't, so you failed. So what I decided to do is I'm gonna get rid of all of them. I'm gonna donate all of them. And if and when I get back into a size 28, I'll just go to the thrift store, or I'll go to Walmart and I'll go buy some more size 28 pants. This way they're not staring at me telling me I'm a loser. I was just thinking, because it's like one pair of pants is a goal pant. Right. A dresser full of pants is an accusation. Yeah. That's like, exactly. It's a threat. Yeah. So like you need to work that out, because you don't need to be looking, like pulling out and saying like, hopelessness, I literally have nothing to wear. Like that will plague you. And that's how I was feeling. I would go in my closet and be like, I don't have anything to wear. Rachel's like, you have an entire closet. I'm like, I can't fit into any of it. So thanks, Miriam. Yeah. And Chris, and have a great live stream. Next one is from Shannon. Hey, Shannon. Shannon said, I still feel like my mom and my dad's kid at the age of 56. I certainly look older, but I don't let my age hold me back, Joe. I get excited when my packages arrive too. I love that. Yeah,
if the kids are 900 years old, they're still my babies.
Yep.
There's no age that they're going to attain where I'm not just the mama.
Well, we were talking about this morning after we read our book together, and I had said to Rachel, I was sitting there last night, and the youth pastor actually came, and she's currently pregnant, so she couldn't go down the water slide.
Yeah.
But I was scanning around to all of these people sitting at the foot of that slide, and it was funny because there was a splash zone.
Yes.
And they were coming down in cannonballs trying to splash and everything else. And I'm looking around, and everybody is in their 20s. Maybe one or two 30-year-olds. But for the most part, everybody was like 25 to 30 years old. And they're all going down it, and they're looking, and here comes Rachel flying down it, screaming things like Ricola.
Ricola.
And,
it was a really long slide.
We're going down with soap and boogie boards and being silly. And I'm thinking, I know I don't look like these young kids, but I feel like they do. And everybody else is looking at us like, how are you guys at your age? We don't expect you guys, we expect you to be the party pooper, right? To be sitting on the side going, be safe. And now we're over there going, add more soap.
Well, and it's funny because, they're pretty carby people. So we would lap them over and over again. And it was like, oh my gosh, I need to sit down for a minute, but we don't have to. But it was funny, with her comment talking about you're forever your mama's baby. Every time I went to down the slide when my mom was there, I'm like, hey, Mom, are you looking? Did you see me? Watch me do this. Mom. And it was like, okay, yeah, I'm still my mom's baby.
I thought the funny part was I have a video of it, but we didn't put it in here, of Rachel letting her mom go up. And Rachel is standing behind her mom the entire time up, holding her back.
I'm going to catch her.
Now, you saw that ladder. If her mom falls, Rachel's not stopping her. She's just going down with her.
I'm just going to be the pillow she lands on.
Like that little part where Anthony slid down going up at one point. And her mom is telling, I don't need your help. I don't need your help. I've got this. I'm 72, yes, but I've got more energy than most of the 30-year-olds.
Yeah, it was really good. But like I said, I intended to be the pillow that she landed on. And that's kind of our hope for the channel. We hope to be the pillow that you land on when you need it. And just to put that out there, if yesterday was a bad day for you, if maybe you went off plan because it was a party day, it's okay. Today is a new day, and it's a good day to have a good day.
Yep. Okay, so next one is from Sue-Ann.
Hey, Sue-Ann. She says, I'm a gum chewer. So what gum do you recommend, Rachel? Any gum within my arm reach.
No.
I mean, it's...
Don't say that.
I look for ones that are... I don't use any sugar ones. They're always sugar-free. But I don't always buy the pure ones that I should, because of the fact that they're just so dang expensive. And they don't last very long. Yeah, and I like minty, I've got coffee breath all the time. So
really?
Yeah. So, and thanks for growing immune to that. But yeah, so I'm always conscious of that too.
Basically get any sugar-free gum. I mean, some people are going to say only ones with xylitol. Well, yeah, so is xylitol better than saccharin? Yeah, but xylitol has 2 carbs in it. And that means that every piece of gum that you're eating, you're getting 2 carbs. Are they sugar alcohols? Yes. Can you deduct them? Some people say yes, some people say no. But 2 things about xylitol. Number 1, it is deadly to dogs. And I mean deadly to dogs.
Yeah.
So if they get 1 piece of gum, you could kill your dog, unless maybe your dog is a horse like Tabitha.
Yeah.
And then it's going to make her really, really, really sick for that little bit. But the other thing is that when you look at xylitol, it is not 0 on the glycemic index. So if something like erythritol or stevia or sucralose, those are 0 on the glycemic index. They're not going to cause any kind of an insulin reaction. However, xylitol isn't. I believe it's 13 on the glycemic index. That means that will cause an insulin reaction, whether or not you're talking about cephalic response or not. Just it's going to have a response because it's not 0 on the glycemic index.
Yeah, I actually kind of get away from xylitol just in recent months for sure, because our daughter-in-law's sister actually has a large breed dog that accidentally got into a pack of gum that was, you know, had xylitol, and it was a large breed dog, and she was able to get it to the vet and get it treated and help it out. But like, that was a very scary moment, and I just don't, you know, play any kind of like Russian roulette with my baby Tabitha.
And again, if you're a major gum chewer like Rachel can go on a gum binge, you know, you could easily, by the end of the day, have had 40 total carbs just in xylitol, eating just a pack of gum. Right? You know, what is there, 20 pieces in a pack? You know, that's 40 total carbs if you finish that whole pack in a day.
Don't be like me. Don't chew gum like I do.
Next one is from Patty.
Hey, Patty.
Patty wants to know, should you eat if you're not hungry? Yes and no.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I want to say kind of like no, but like also you don't want to work yourself into such a calorie deficit that you stay there, because maybe you're not hungry today, but like never be hungry again.
Right. So if you're fasting, you're good. But if you're just like, okay, I'm not that hungry, what I want you to do is prioritize your protein. You need to get your protein in. So if you're not hungry, eat only protein. Don't eat a bunch of fat and carbohydrates. Eat only protein. And then if you're still hungry, kind of get into the rest of it. And it's like, again, look at your protein goal. If your protein goal, for example, is 130 grams and you're used to eating 50, the chances you're going to be able to get 130 grams of protein in right away is difficult. You're probably not going to be able to do it. So just work your way up. But if you're supposed to be eating 130 grams of protein and you're only eating 60 and you're going, I'm not hungry, and then later on you're going to have a piece of cheese, don't eat a piece of cheese. Go eat some chicken or something like that. Get that protein in first, then worry about everything else, because you need the protein. Without the protein, you're going to start not having issues. You're going to start having issues with your hair and your nails. You're going to lose muscle. So you need to get that protein in. That's the most important one. Next one is from Louise.
Hey, Louise. They say, Rachel, be sure to have oxtails. I found a recipe with Nisha loves it. It is so good. I have made it 4 times already, and I can't wait to go to Sam's to get more. Love watching you and Joe. Keep up the good work. Yeah, this is going to be stretching me as a human being.
I was actually looking, and they didn't have any in Sam's Club yesterday. You may be going to, I think they have it at Costco, so we'll be getting some oxtail there. Oxtail soup is really good.
I've never had it. So it sounds daunting, but maybe that's the problem. It just sounds like it's going to be scary.
I didn't even look. Do we have beef tongue on there?
We do.
Cool. I love beef tongue. Next one is from Rian. Rian said, so many recipes using allulose, but there are so many forms, and I know some are better, cleaner than others. What is the best, cleanest form of allulose to bake with? I struggle with my weight as it is, and I can't do a lot of additives, so I usually don't make recipes. But I'm struggling right now, and all the fun desserty stuff looks so yummy. Okay, so when it comes to allulose, there's a couple. You can get liquid allulose. You have to look at what are they using to make it a liquid. Sometimes it's water, sometimes it's alcohol. Both are usually okay depending on, you know, your body, and maybe you don't want the alcohol, you know, like it's just like, you know, when you look at like vanilla extract, it's usually made with alcohol unless you're buying the imitation. If you're buying granular, anything that's pure allulose is good. You can also find blends where it's allulose blended with erythritol. That is okay as well. You just want to make sure you're not getting something where, usually you're going to find it in a grocery store where it's allulose and something like, you know, maltodextrin or dextrose. One of the problems with allulose is it's only 70% as sweet as sugar.
So you need so much of it.
You need a lot of it. So the best thing to do if you're going to use allulose when you're baking, and it's something that we do, is mix it with something else. So do allulose with a few drops of stevia, or you can do sucralose. But if you don't like stevia, try mixing it with the allulose, because the stevia will bring up the sweetness. Stevia gets bitter when you use too much of it.
Yeah,
but if you just use a few drops of it, the allulose will bring up your sweetness and the stevia will kind of top it off. But you're better off doing that than trying to just keep adding more allulose. And that's why you see a lot of the keto snacks and treats that have allulose as their only sweetener. It's usually the main ingredient, and there's usually a lot of it.
Ton of it.
I've seen mug cakes with like 36 grams of allulose. I mean, that's just a lot of
Well,
allulose.
and for me at least, a lot of times they'll have a ton of it like that, and I'm already feeling like, gosh, this feels like a lot. And then I'll taste it, and it won't even be that sweet.
Right.
So I'm like,
It's
well,
not.
That's frustrating, because I'm thinking that this is going to be like really hit my sweet tooth because of
The amount.
just the amount.
But it's not. And I mean, also they'll cut it with erythritol because again, the erythritol will help bring that sweetness up, but erythritol has a cooling effect.
Yeah.
So they just do a lot of allulose, a little bit of erythritol, and then what happens is the erythritol brings up the sweetness. The allulose starts cutting that cooling effect. Thomas Alala had a really good video up. I want to say it went up yesterday, or at least it showed up in my feed yesterday, where he was at Walmart talking about protein bars. And he brought up a great point that allulose does something really cool, and that is it can actually help you regulating your glucose. Because of the way it works in your body, your glucose will actually start coming down. So sometimes companies will even mix it with like 1 or 2 grams of regular sugar because you won't have that same glucose and insulin reaction to the regular sugar because of what the allulose does.
It's amazing.
So it's kind of cool the way it works, it's just not as sweet.
I love when he explains the science of it all.
Oh, I know. Let's do this. Let's take one more quick commercial break for the future people, and then we'll come back with the rest of the comments.
Yeah, we don't want to leave them with like 40 commercials.
Let's take a look at a few of these comments up here real quick because we're way behind on them, but we knew that. Mary said, I came home today from a girls' weekend 2 pounds lighter because I only ate meat, wings mostly, even attended a potluck and stayed keto. An almost incredible feat.
An almost impossible feat. You are so right. I love one of my favorite non-scale victories that we get emails about all the time is for the first time I came home from a vacation and I am not 10 pounds up. Like that is a miracle,
It is.
right? It's amazing.
Let's see. Here was, is that one? Jerry is on.
Hey, Jerry.
Jerry said, I made cheeseburgers in Hebrew National quarter-pound hot
yum.
dogs last night on the Blackstone. I really wanted to eat the dogs, so I did, and I'm going to have hamburgers later as leftovers.
That's okay. They
Jerry
count.
is enjoying that Blackstone.
I love it. And I hope Patty is too.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you got it in the Chop Challenge because you made the hamburgers on the Chop Challenge day. So
That's
it
right.
totally counts.
Yep. Blue Dove said, I made my hamburgers with half premium ground beef, higher fat, and grass-fed Longhorn beef tonight. Local from my farmer's market.
Very
lean.
nice.
The Longhorns graze on sage, and you can taste it.
I know Heather had sent me a message saying that they had got such a ridiculous deal on a whole cow and it being also the processing being included with it.
That's amazing.
And so she was like, we're going out and buying a new freezer. She's like, it's so good we can't pass it up. So yeah, that was amazing.
Older Pennsylvania said, I can't use Hebrew National because they have soy protein in them. I saw online they have a natural version without it, but I've never seen it in any of our stores. Yes, so we made a comment on that once. I went to the store. I was like, okay, I'm trying to find clean hot dogs in a grocery store, which turns out the only place that I can find them is actually Aldi. But Costco
Is
and
that
all
weird?
them, you know, they don't have them. So, and I don't even mind a little bit. I don't mind the nitrates and stuff. I was looking for something that doesn't have a bunch of sugar in them. And a lot of times hot dogs are high in carbs because of the sugar, and also they add spices, which I'm good with that.
Because they're all the lips and buttholes
Right.
of animals.
So I had picked up Hebrew National. There's a big thing on like no fillers, and then you pick it up and it's got soy protein, and I'm like, no fillers.
But that is a filler.
100% beef is 100% beef,
Right.
not soy protein. So I don't understand like how they can get away with that, but
That is not within our marriage. That is not the level of like faithfulness that we would like be okay with.
Right.
Right? Like 100% faithful, except for this in here. Like what would that do to your relationship?
Okay, let's get into the rest of the comments, then we can come back to today's live stream comments. So next one is from Michelle.
Hey, Michelle.
She said, how rude. I was at the store buying a meat package with 6 beef patties and 2 packs of bacon. I had a guy waiting in front of me turn around and say I would be hot and thin if I didn't have all the fatty meat.
What?
I replied back that he should worry about his own cart and not mine. Thank heavens the cashier started waiting on him because he's a jerk. I I so badly wanted to say maybe if you ate some meat, you wouldn't have the muscles of a 10-year-old boy.
Oh, wow.
I absolutely would have said
You spanked
that.
him right back.
No, she didn't. She said she should have said that.
Oh, she should have said yes.
However, that's rude, and I wouldn't want to lower myself to his level. I sure thought it, though. I've had people comment before, but it's usually along the line of, your dinner looks like it's going to be better than
There you
mine.
go.
What time is dinner?
I am going to need the name and address of this gentleman, and Miss Rachel will be visiting him later today.
I don't understand comments like that.
I don't.
And I don't understand why people, I don't know why they do it on videos, not just our videos, but everyone's videos. I mean, I even look at, we were talking about it with the patrons the other day, like when you have somebody like who's a vegan, if you're a vegan because you love animals, I can completely get on board with you. I just can't get on board when you start telling me that veganism is healthier than eating meat, or veganism is better for the environment. And Rachel had a friend from high school, we were talking about during our Patreon live stream, who, like, we went out to eat with once, who was a vegan, and every time we put a bite of meat in our mouth, she would gag on purpose to try to make us gag.
You killed me with every bite.
I mean, like, what's the point? I just don't get it. Like, I was always taught, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything.
Well, here's the thing. When met with that, I feel like the best course of action would be like, oh, can I have your mom's phone number? Because I'm going to call her and tell her that she is out here that you are out here shaming her reputation, okay? Because I am sure that your mother raised you to be nice to people and to say nice, pretty things, and you're not acting right, so I'm gonna need to talk to your mama.
Right.
She'll fix you.
Okay, next one is from Kathy.
Hey, Kathy. She says, so I thought I need to start checking out how I'm responding to some things. Here is how I tested this morning. You can see the time of 10:56 a.m. on one with a GKI of 3.9. The other, I couldn't get the time on it, but it was an hour later after having drank 20 ounces of water with some Perfect Keto daily electrolytes, pink lemonade. So is everything like this going to knock me out of ketosis?
Okay, so she put this up, and her glucose is an 85, her ketones are a 0.4, and they've got this GKI, okay, 3.9 says you're in a moderate level of GKI ketosis, and the top where it's 11.7 says you are not in GKI ketosis. I know this is gonna piss people off.
I know, here it comes.
I know that we're gonna get comments down below.
Bring them.
Okay? Don't worry about ketone levels.
Nope.
Don't worry about ketone levels. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna tell you, most likely, you don't want high ketone levels if you are trying to lose weight.
Yeah.
Okay. If you've got a 0.4, you're in ketosis. You're in ketosis, okay? If you're not eating carbohydrates, your body has to have fuel. It has two options for fuel: glucose from carbs or fat. There is no other option. The only other time that your body can have a different alternative for fuel would be protein, and that is only going to happen in the lack of having any carbs and any fat. Well, we all have fat on our body. So that means just a little bit, just a little bit.
This is news.
Okay.
This is news.
So if you're not eating carbs, if you're not eating glucose, then you're going to be burning fat. There's so many things that impact your blood ketone readings. Remember, when you're measuring your blood ketones, you are measuring excess ketones that are floating around in your blood. When you've been on keto for a while, sometimes you get so efficient that your body is able to directly use the fat as fuel. Some people have higher numbers, some people have lower numbers. If you want to see that number higher, there's two things you can do. Number one, you can eat a lot less food, okay? Eating, because it's a starvation type of mechanism.
Like that.
So you can eat a lot less food, like way under calorically. That's not super healthy. You could also use things like MCT oil, which is going to increase your ketones, or you can use exogenous ketones, but you don't need to. If you're not eating all the carbs, you're going to be using the fat for fuel. So don't worry about the GKI, just don't worry about it. Worry about your glucose, because too many things affect those needs. Because also, even if you exercise, your ketones go down. That doesn't mean you shouldn't exercise.
Yeah, when you get a message like that, don't internalize it. send it to voicemail.
Yeah.
Be like, I'm sorry, my ketones can't answer the phone right now because they're out doing their job.
Right.
And that's why there's not a billion of them here. Okay, leave a message. We'll call you back.
And now I did want to say a couple people commented because she had like the perfect keto electrolytes. Well, that's kicking you out of ketosis. It's just not true.
No.
Okay. When you look at the cephalic insulin response, which is still kind of a theory. There is no study out there that has completely proven cephalic insulin response, especially when it comes to stevia. There's nothing for stevia, sucralose, erythritol. There's not even one for aspartame, okay? There's a couple for acesulfame potassium, but it's a theory. But the theory is also not just tasting something sweet, it's also thinking about
Smelling
it, seeing it, or smelling it. So what is the chance that you are never going to walk past a bakery again in your life? So you can't live that way.
No.
Okay, but a cephalic insulin response is gonna raise insulin. That has nothing to do with lowering your ketones. It's not gonna lower your ketones. Insulin is just a fat storing hormone. You're not gonna lower your ketones significantly because your insulin went up a touch. Because your insulin goes up even when you eat ground beef.
Baby, we're going to get letters.
I know we are, but that's okay. Next one is from Christopher.
Hey, Christopher. He says, scale doesn't seem to be acting right today. Trying to figure out what kind of error code this is. A line in front of a 2-digit number, or maybe it's a 1 or I. March 2018, 372 pounds, and June 2021, 199, baby.
Is that amazing?
That is amazeballs. I am super proud of you, Christopher. And like, if you are not subscribed to Slapstick Keto, go do that. He is amazing. He has an amazing family. You want to see them, but he is like the incredible shrinking man.
Yeah.
Over the course of his channel, you've just seen him. Love it.
Next one is from Marie.
Hey, Marie.
Marie said, okay, I realize this is not salon quality, but I clipped and painted my toenails by myself. It's been 15 years since I've been able to do this. The polish was old and I had to add nail polish remover to it so I could apply it. I didn't want to buy fresh until I could do it again. Guess it's time to go shopping.
Do you have a picture to go with it?
I thought I did, but I guess I don't.
I think that is so awesome, and I have experienced that non-scale victory, and let me tell you, it is precious because yes, I remember looking at my toes and being like, I can't reach there. I can remember when you had to tie my shoe for me.
That's right.
I remember tying your shoes in bed. You'd put your shoes on because usually your ankle would be hurting really bad,
Right.
and it was hard to bend over, and you'd feel dizzy getting back up. And so, yeah, I would put your shoes on, you'd put my shoes on. And if I wanted my toes painted, he had to do it. It was not an option.
Yep. I saw a comment here. Sabrina made a comment, said, COVID and losing my mom last year helped me add 10 pounds,
so
but I've since been able
sorry.
to take it back off within the last few months. I'm so thankful for the keto way of eating and Joe and Rachel.
Sabrina, thank you so much for being here. I'm so sorry for the loss of your mother.
Next one is from Susan.
Hey, Susan.
She wants to know, can the keto flu make you feel tired? You feel like you could literally fall over and go to sleep. Also, I'm yawning a lot.
Absolutely.
Electrolytes. Get yourself some electrolytes. Make sure you're getting all your potassium, your sodium, and your magnesium in. That's basically what the keto flu is. It's your body isn't used to, using the fat for fuel. It's still used in the carbs. So it's a combination of like, hey, where's my sugar? And then also your body is flushing out and you're losing electrolytes. So as soon as you get that sodium and stuff in, you're gonna get like loads of energy.
And just remember, especially during these summer months, you are sweating more and you are expelling energy, and our natural course of action, because we were on the South American diet, a part of that is drink more water, drink more water.
Right.
But unless you're, adding electrolytes to that, you're not, adding to your salt intake, you're diluting it
Right.
when you're adding a bunch of water, but not putting any electrolytes back in. So you really need to be sensitive to that.
Yep. Next one is from Amy.
Hey, Amy.
She said, hello, I'm going on my first 10-day vacation since starting a keto lifestyle just a year ago. What are the best tips for traveling and vacationing while still living a keto lifestyle?
One of my favorite things is, depending on like if you're staying in hotels or who you're staying with, is visit the local supermarkets there where you're staying. There's a lot more grab and go options I noticed even in like Publix, where you can just grab it and go. There's just a lot of options in the local grocery store. We found many times that our hotel happens to be by a Costco or a Sam's Club or something. So you can go and grab some of the things that, you're used to buying at home.
Yeah. And if you're going to go out to eat, some of it just comes down to willpower.
Yeah.
And I know that nobody wants to hear, but some of it is willpower. I was just recently talking with someone, they were talking about like, I can't find a job. I need a job. I'm like, there's jobs out there. They may just not be jobs that you want to do, but you can get a job. There are keto options out there when you're on vacation. It's just, do you want them? Are you willing to have the sacrifice to do it? And a lot of times people look at like, well, I'm going to enjoy my vacation. Part of enjoying my vacation should be eating what I want. And that's fine. Everybody has a different way they want a vacation. For me, it would be fun to eat something like that, but I don't want to experience the after effects of eating that way. So what I like to do is when we go on vacation, I'm going to continue to eat a keto lifestyle, maybe let up a little bit. We've gotten vlogs about that where maybe we'll, have a little bit more keto treats than we usually would or something like that. And instead, I enjoy my vacation with an experience or something like that, a different way to make it seem out of the norm.
Well, because I think it comes down to, how bad do you want it? Mm-hmm. Like that really does have to play a factor into it. There was a time when I cleaned public toilets for a living. Did I want to do that? No. But if you put it on par with, I wanted my children to have clothing and food and a roof over their head, you will make it happen. I made it happen. And sometimes it's like, how bad do you want to be healthy? Sometimes you're gonna have to fight for it.
That's right. Next one is from Emily.
Hey Emily, she says, chronometer question. A couple of months ago, I switched to tracking total carbs like Joe and Rachel do, and you could also keep track of your net carbs when tapping the circle that was on the last scroll over part of the last page and scrolling down to look at what your net was. Now I'm noticing that you can't see net carbs anymore when tracking total carbs. Is that correct, or am I just looking in the wrong place since I updated the app on my phone? I want to be able to track both, and Chronometer had that option a couple months ago, and now it looks like if you want to see net carbs tracked, you have to now pay for it. So I can now only track total or net, not both, on the app.
Okay, so you are mistaken. Let's go over to Chronometer. Okay, so we go over to Chronometer. I already did this. I did not eat this today, but a piece of our chocolate toffee cheesecake. And the reason I did is because I know it's got net carbs and total carbs with erythritol. So we're going to go over to settings. Okay. Now, one thing, first of all, the paid version is $35 a year. If you use our link down below, you get so many benefits from that. It's worth it.
Yeah.
It really is worth it. $35 for your health for the year, if you're into tracking, is really cool. Okay, so we're gonna go over to, let's see, profile and targets, I believe is where it is. Something I wanted to mention, they've added a couple of cool features here on Chronometer, and that is on your total energy burn. So if you go back to like this here, you wanna see like how much energy have I burned, okay? When you go back over to, where is it, settings, you can now tell it to include exercises if you want. So if you don't want to see, like on Chronometer, what would happen is you would put it on there and say like, okay, you've burned 1,500 calories, and then you went out for a run and you've got an Apple Watch on, and now it says you burned 2,300 calories, which means now you could eat more food.
Yeah.
I don't like that. No. I want to know how much am I just burning based on my day, and I don't want to necessarily know how many calories I'm burning from my extra exercise or something like that. The other thing is sometimes your body will burn more calories based on the type of food. It's called the thermal effect. And so if you go back on here, they've now put it in here where you can change that. You can have it include the exercising, and you can have it include thermal effect of food. So that part is really cool that you can put that in and out now. But if you go further down on here, you're gonna go down to tracking carbohydrates. So I have it listed right now as tracking on total carbs. So if we go back to the diary, and you're gonna see here, here's my carbs. I've got 22 carbs. if you scroll all, and it'll say it here too, I have this set up differently, but if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, it does still say net carbs. It will still tell you what your net carbs are, and that is also on the app too. You just have to, you can't look in the very front page, you have to scroll down to the
it's
carbs
not right
section,
together.
and you're gonna see the breakdown of where do all the carbs come from, and on the bottom of that, it's going to actually say, you know, what your net carbs were. They've also now included allulose, if you wanna subtract allulose or not subtract allulose. Okay, next one is going to be from, oh, I gotta turn this back on. Did I press it already? There we go.
There we go.
There he is. Gwen.
Gwen says, note to self, don't break a fast first thing in the morning with a bottle of water with a scoop of electrolytes and go walk at the high school track for an hour. Thank the Lord the custodians were cleaning the concession stand and bathrooms.
I have done that. We go for a long drive. Like if we get up to go to Disney World or Universal Studios and I get up at 3:34 in the morning.
We ain't making it to Utah Junction.
Do a Zip Fizz. Within 20 minutes of drinking a Zip Fizz, I have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Right? It's just like all of a sudden, it's all coming out.
Yeah.
So yeah, good point. Next one is from Shauna.
Shauna says, I turn vegetables into bacon. What's your superpower?
I love
How
that.
cute is that?
I love that.
Yeah, don't worry. Like, we're eating our vegetables and our meat. Because our
Somebody
meat's
had
eating
a
our
post
vegetables.
up yesterday on Facebook that was, it was a picture, I think, a cow, and it said, my cow is vegan or something like that. I was
How
like,
cute.
Perfect. There is one more comment from last week. It's from Cindy.
Hey, Cindy.
Cindy said, last August, after COVID lockdown, my A1C was 10.8. I began my journey on a low-carb diet, which brought it down to 8.3 this February. However, no weight loss. I began keto in February, and I got my A1C results today. I'm at a 6.0 with my glucose in normal range. I'm 69 years old. I cannot ever remember my score that low.
That's so
I've
good.
lost 15 pounds, now weighing 161.
Wow.
With only 10 pounds to go to my goal weight.
Good job, Cindy.
I have been encouraged by following 2 Crazy Ketos and hearing that everyone's struggle is different, and I need to do what is right for me.
Yeah.
I didn't have major weight to lose. My focus was on glucose levels. Weight is a secondary focus. The benefits of keto go way beyond weight and glucose. I feel younger, I have energy, I focus better, no joint pain. I may be older, but it proved you can make changes at any age.
Cindy, thank you so much for sharing that comment. And first of all, congratulations, because that is amazing and exciting. But there are people out there that aren't like Joe and I. They don't have 100 pounds or more to lose, and they may be coming into this space wondering, is this for me? Is this family for me? Or is it just people like Joe and Rachel who have more than 100 pounds to lose? But no, keto is about health, and we learned how much more important all of the health results were. So yes, thank you for sharing that.
Let's do a few comments before we get off. First one is from Blue Dove. She said,
Blue
"Oh,
Dove.
Joe, you are not a failure or a loser. Your body is just trying to reach homeostasis.
Thank you.
It's like the swing of a pendulum and has to equalize some."
So
yeah,
true.
it's absolutely true. But this is what staring at that stuff can do to me. And it's like one of the reasons we don't like the term dirty keto. Because when
We
you look,
always feel bad.
you feel like you feel like I'm dirty. Ew, something's wrong with me.
Or I'm lazy.
Right? Or yeah, I'm being a lazy person. And it's speaking those words. I mean, we're right now reading an incredible book from Joyce Meyer, and she talks a lot about your mind, right? Battlefield of the mind. And like what you're thinking can have an impact on the way you act and what you're gonna do in your life, just from the thoughts that you allow to enter your mind.
And it's okay to have I'm not doing lazy keto or dirty keto. I'm doing Rachel keto.
That's right. I like that.
You're doing Joe keto.
Yeah.
Like it's not wrong because you make the rules.
Let's see. The warden said we were all forced to do a total house declutter, but so glad. So much recycled stuff.
Sometimes, and I never want you to go through anything remotely like you and Heath have gone through. What troopers. And thank you for always bringing us content, even if it has to come from a hotel.
Yep.
Like it's amazing. But yeah, it's like sometimes you got that shot of decluttering. It's like, let's just take it.
Songbird said, your positivity helps me be positive, you two. Joe and Rachel, Chris and Miriam, Dr. Barry, Anisha, yes, and Keto Connect. Thank you for helping us. God bless you all.
Thanks so much for being here, sharing your Monday with us.
Joe Ray is here.
Hey, Joe Ray.
She said, right now, my smaller clothes are motivation. Every week or so, I find something new I can fit back into.
Wow, that's like Christmas morning.
And again, it's just like your journey. Everybody is different. Some people, it motivates them. Some people, they need the scale every day. It motivates them. Other people, like me, if I get on the scale and I see a lower number, it can sometimes cause me to have a day of overeating. Why?
Yeah.
Because you should reward yourself. You did good yesterday. Look, eating that yesterday didn't affect you, so have some more today. Everybody's different. Everybody's mind works different.
I like to think of it as it's like a swimming pool. For some people, the swimming pool is recreation. For other people, if you don't know how to swim, the swimming pool is a dangerous place you could drown in. So it's the same thing with the scale. Like some people, it's really something that is a scaffold to their keto journey and it really blesses them. And for some other people, it just sends them down a spiral of depression. So it's just finding what is right for you. And just because somebody else is collecting data in some way doesn't mean you have to do it the same way.
Yep. Mary said, your adult kids are always your babies, and my adult girls always need their mom.
Yes.
It warms my heart when I'm the first to hear their good news, bad news, exciting news, and sad news.
So good. That's very true.
Sabrina said, can anyone tell me how to change the initial on my icon or something else, like a picture? You go to Google. It's part of your Google account. Let's see. Oh, Chris is leaving. Oh, Blue Dove said, yes, oxtail really just tastes like fatty roast beef.
Oh, okay, now I'm
I pick around the
super
big chunks
excited.
of fat, but it's yummy. I love beef tongue too.
Okay, Blue Dove, you just made me super excited about oxtail in a way I had not been before.
Caboodles here said, your thoughts on getting to the end of the day and not at your protein. I'm thinking of a protein sparing modified fast day where I get to 5 to 6 p.m. at 100 grams or so and need another 65 grams, but I'm not hungry. Eat it the next day? No, you don't need to eat it the next day. Again, do the best you can, okay? If you're getting at least 100 grams of protein in, you're gonna be good for the day. You know, one day is not gonna hurt you. It's when we're consistently doing that. If you're, again, we don't like to talk too much about calories, but you do need to have fuel. That's why we say you do have a minimum amount of fat you need to eat on a regular basis. If you're consistently eating only, say, like 700 calories, your body's gonna slow down your metabolism. If you're consistently eating 2,000 calories and you have a 700 calorie day, your body doesn't just shut down tomorrow and say, well, they only gave me 700 calories. It's an
I'm on strike.
It's an adaptation. So what happens is over time. So if you're consistently eating 130 grams of protein and then you have a day where you only eat 100,
it's okay.
No big deal. It's when you're consistently under eating your protein is where you're gonna have an issue. Mary said, I finally bought some Allulose and a week later, no longer available in Canada.
Wow.
Best sweetener from Wholesome Yum for you Americans, has great Allulose blend.
Thanks for sharing that, Mary.
Let's see. Becky said, I had a coworker from Jakeman that would pair oxtail with callaloo.
Wow.
I would love to learn more about this amazing cuisine.
Yeah, I'm hoping somebody was going to post in the family group their family's recipe for Jamaican oxtail, and I'm like very much looking forward to it.
Come Right In said, anyone remember the song, does your chewing gum lose its flavor on the bedpost overnight? I used to keep mine around my lamp base all the time.
Really? Oh my gosh, no. As soon as because I can't take it being like hard, I need it to be soft, so I would pop a new one in. That reminds me of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with that one little girl that's like been chewing the same piece of gum for like a record amount of time.
Teresa said, non-skill victory last night. My hubby looked at me and said, you look younger.
Hello. Rare.
We were actually talking last night. We were playing around with my
sweet husband.
my iPad. And if you go to the Photos app, if you click on a person, if you've identified like who people are based on their face, it'll play like a little 15, 20-second video.
I didn't recognize those people.
And we were looking at the one of Rachel and I. First of all, the only thing that struck out at me of you was you seriously don't have the same hairstyle or color in any of the pictures.
No, I don't.
Every one of them is different.
It keeps it exciting.
But
We're married to all these women.
It was interesting watching the ones of me and her getting younger.
Yeah.
Like as it went along the timeline, we were getting younger.
Yeah.
He said, we buy Teton Water Farm sausages at Costco. They're slightly bigger than a hot dog.
Oh, neat.
That's pretty cool.
I usually like that brand. We've had other things from them.
Looking for any other ones. Trying to get down to Mary. Mary said veganism better for the environment argument is absolutely wrong. Cows poop, soil takes nutrients, grass grows, cows eat, cows poop, repeat.
Serious?
Well, what gets even worse is they say that it's like all the toxins from their poop going up in the air. But what about all of the fuel and the fumes from the tractors? It's going to grow all of your soy and what it's doing to the soil, and you're adding things in. And oh, by the way, most of the vegetables and stuff we're buying are nutrient depleted because we're farming in soil that's nutrient depleted.
Oh, P.S. part of
And it's got to run on trains and planes and...
Well, and it's also not going to be like no animals after that.
Yeah.
If your frustration is like, we want no cows because we love animals. Well, there's still going to be cows.
Right.
Hopefully you should want more cows.
Well, it's like people who say like you shouldn't hunt deer. Do you know what would happen if we didn't have a deer season?
They would die horrible deaths.
You'd have what Florida has right now with hogs.
Oh, it's
where
so bad.
Where they dig up everything. You have what Florida has right now with iguanas, where they burrow underneath, the bridges and the tunnels, and they cause infrastructure problems. If you didn't have a deer season, the deers would be getting hit by cars.
Oh, it's awful.
So you have to have something. It's how it's designed. One thing feeds another, feeds another, feeds another. Keto Crafter said, I haven't used my Keto Mojo in almost a year. I wish I never bought it. It's been a complete waste of money.
I enjoy having some data collection every now and then. I'm glad, sometimes it's more a case of like, ooh, I feel a little funny. I bet my ketones must be up is usually what I'll say to Joe, and I'll go check them. And I just like that data information.
Right.
Just checking
but just
something.
Don't live by it.
But don't live in.
Just like the scale. Don't live by one thing. Johnny said, what is your opinion on a healthy weight loss goal per month for someone 50 pounds overweight starting keto?
Welcome, Johnny.
It's hard to give you a goal because
you'll
everybody's different.
Well, and you may lose inches way before you lose pounds.
So when I first got started, I lost almost 30 pounds in the first month. Rachel only lost 4 pounds.
That was happy.
When she first got, the
date
second
night.
time she got on keto. She only lost 4 pounds, but she went from, a size 8 to like a size 4 or a size 2.
Yeah.
But she only lost 4 pounds. So which one would you rather have? Lose pounds, but a lot of it is just like muscle and you can't see it at all? Or would you rather lose the inches and get off of medicine and things like that?
Yeah.
If you really wanted to be realistic, a healthy weight loss is a half to 1 pound a week. Really not more than 2 pounds. You don't want to lose more than 2 pounds of fat. And realistically, you're not going to lose more than 2 pounds of fat in a week.
People don't like to hear that, but it's true.
When you first get started, you may have that initial like, hey, I lost 8 to 10 pounds in the first couple of weeks.
It's probably water.
Most of that is water because your body is dumping all the glycogen stores. Chris left because they have to do their live stream. What's this one here? Sierra said, recently found y'all's channel and have been binge watching because, Rachel, you are my spirit animal.
Yay! I want to be, okay, we need a shirt because I want to be your spirit animal. That is great.
We're going to jump down to the bottom.
I would love that. Thanks for letting me be your spirit animal.
Okay, so Come Right In said, most restaurants have menus online. I always check them and plan what I'm going to order because I can't trust myself in the moment.
I use Yelp a lot because not just do I want to see the menu, I want to see the pictures because sometimes it says, well, I have chicken wings and then I'm banking on going to the restaurant and then eating chicken wings and then I find out the chicken wings are breaded once I get to the restaurant. So it's better for me to take a look at some of their, menu items and see what am I dealing with. Pictures, not just like the flat menu.
So we were talking this morning, non-scale victory for us. And people say, like, are you ever tempted? For the most part, we're not.
Yes, this was huge.
But the one carb thing we did do was we bought Anthony a birthday cake. We knew who the group was here, so we bought a giant sheet cake. Do you know how much
a keto birthday cake would cost? It's this big.
We bought a giant sheet cake at Sam's Club. It was like $18.
Yeah.
Lots of icing and stuff.
Of course.
And then for Rachel's mom, and then for us to have like, hey, it's 4th of July.
Yeah.
We had some Just Made Keto. We brought her mom like 3 cupcakes with a bunch of the buttercream icing.
Best frosting.
And then we had one of the chocolate chip loaves from Just Made Keto.
stinking good.
And it was really good. We had a nice little piece of it. And it was just enough. But for the kids, we did get them this big ice cream cake, not ice cream cake, big cake with buttercream frosting. And of course, I've got to cut it.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you.
And I got to plate it.
When you're cutting it, right, and we're doing this outside, you get the frosting on a knife and you get it on your finger. And listen.
You're just
whether you're supposed to
reaction.
Or not, when you cook, your finger, I'm going to taste this, that kind of stuff, right? And as I'm cutting it and I'm moving it from the thing to, the board onto the plate, there's frosting on my finger. And there's so much you just want to
fix it,
right? Get it off. Hey, let me taste what that's like. I mean, that's what you did. And I was like proud of us because neither one of us, we were like wiping it on garbage bags and napkins and whatever you could. And I just looked at Rachel, I'm like, I know.
We couldn't do that.
I would get back into keto like that if I were to have this ridiculous amount of sugar. But how sick am I going to be?
Oh, that would
having not had sugar for 4 years.
We would not have enjoyed.
First of all, you would feel like high as a kite from all of that sugar.
Right.
And then top it off with like just being physically ill.
But that I feel like that is such a stinking win.
Yeah.
We used a paper towel. We didn't use our mouth. Great job, guys.
Blue Dove said, words do matter. Your subconscious is always listening and internalizing.
Yeah. So start saying, you're beautiful into the mirror. I like you in the mirror. Say to yourself, like, I'm your biggest fan, Rachel.
Yep.
I'm your biggest fan, person in the mirror.
Rachel says, all this bacon talk is making me want to go fry up a pound of it.
I know. Same.
Shauna is here.
Hey,
Said
Shauna.
yesterday my mom said something about a food that I can't eat. I corrected her food and said, I don't eat by choice.
Yes.
I love that.
That's
I just
awesome.
love that. Here's the thing. Well, I don't think ours lets us right now, right? Blue Dove said, I don't try and close it at thrift store, so I keep guessing at my size and coming home to find they're too big.
So I found, that's awesome. What I have learned from a friend of mine is if you're trying to, because we can't try on clothes in the thrift stores,
right.
But if you take the waist of the pants that you're interested in, wrap it around your neck to the front, that's your waist. Now, the only thing that I have trouble in is I am disproportionate waist to legs. Like my thighs are much bigger than my waist is. So depending on how you're built, my mom, that's a great rule of thumb because, she's like a chicken. She's got the skinniest legs. She's like Steph. She's got real skinny legs. But that at least helps with the waist if you're thinking you.
Can I repeat the comment from yesterday about legs?
What?
One of the girls was here yesterday, newly married, and she was complaining she went down a slide and then she's got cuts from shaving her legs.
And it exacerbated it.
And I said, hey, there's a solution. Just don't shave your legs.
And she's like, yes.
She's like, yes, Joe
for president. Because
her husband's like, no.
Thanks a lot, Joe.
Marianne said to all of us in Elsa's path, good luck. I hope everybody stays safe.
Yes, we are definitely going to be praying for everybody this week, and also for people who haven't had the rain. That's like an ongoing concern.
Joe Ray said, I do that when I reach a goal. I reward myself with food because I deserve it. I've been trying to use non-food rewards instead.
That is awesome. And there's a lot of non-food related, goal things that you can do. Start looking for it. When you're in a store, like when I'm in Target, I will see a cute toss pillow or I will see a throw or something that I really like. And I'm like, that's super cute. I don't need it, but it's super cute and I want it.
Right.
And so if I have a goal for myself, hey, you stay on plan all week this week, and that throw is yours, lady. Yep. Like I like non-scale, or I want to say non-scale victories, non-food rewards.
Yeah. Mary said the soil is nutrient depleted because no cows poop to add nutrients. Silly vegans. It's true. I mean, that's what's so cool about regenerative farming. There was another one here. Blue Dove said, not to mention all the creatures that are displaced and killed to prevent them from eating the crops. Your soy burger is not bloodless.
That's very true.
And it's not meant to be like a vegan hating thing.
Not
it's
at all.
For some reason, they get on us more than we get on them. But that's what's so great about regenerative farming, because if you go look at the videos on YouTube, it's really cool to see the way, like, okay, so we have this here, we're gonna do our crops here, then when those crops are done, we're gonna take the animals and we're gonna move them over here, and then we're gonna move the crops over here, and they keep rotating around, so the crops can have it, then the animals go in and the animals eat that stuff and they put in the poop, that gives the fertilizer, and you just keep circulating them over and over and over again.
Well, and I think that, it's important for us to have mercy and grace when you're interacting with somebody, because it is like a belief system for many people, because they love animals, embrace them, and they're trying to do what's best. And they kind of think that the way we eat is negotiable. Like, you're just doing it because you like it and it's not a necessary thing. But for our health, yes, it's not negotiable.
Right.
Like, we need to maintain this way of eating because it is propelling our health. It's not something that we take lightly, and we certainly honor the animals that we eat by, getting them responsibly sourced.
Yep. I just realized it's 11:30, but we got started late.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
No, we started late, remember?
Oh, okay.
He said next month's Chop Challenge must have iguana and frog
Ooh.
legs. I agree.
You guys are in cahoots.
I really do. Donald said, how much protein should you eat on OMAD? I prefer getting my protein from real food and protein drinks, etc. Same amount, whatever your protein goal is. So again, we believe in the 1-to-1 ratio, and something Dr. Berry talks about, where you eat until you are comfortably full, but only certain foods. He's not talking about eating a bunch of keto snacks till you're comfortably. He's talking about eating meat. He's got a list of about 6 or 7 things. And if you're doing that, it generally comes out to be 1-to-1. If you're eating ribeyes, that's like a 1-to-1, 1 gram of protein to 1 gram of fat. So whatever your ultimate goal weight is, or whatever your lean mass is, whichever one you want to use. So, and when we say ultimate goal weight, what is your dream goal weight? Like, what does the doctor say you should weigh in an unrealistic amount?
Yeah.
Right? Because whatever they say, well, you should weigh 150 pounds. Yeah, in what world?
But it's still going to get your protein up, because that's the ratio you're using.
So whatever that is, eat that much grams of protein. So if your goal is to weigh 200 pounds, your goal should be about 200 grams,
Wow.
200 grams
Get
of
started
protein
now.
per day. So
Set your
if
alarm.
you're doing OMAD, same thing. Protein first, and then you're going to look at adding an extra fat and carbs. And when we say protein first, like, you're not looking at like only eating lean protein. I'm saying eat a ribeye. Eat your nice big ribeye, which is going to have fat in it. But don't add a bunch more fat until you've gotten all of your protein in. So if you want to have broccoli with your ribeye or your prime rib like we do, then eat your prime rib first. Then if you have room, then eat the broccoli. But the protein is much more important.
The vegetables should be going home in the take-home bag, not the meat.
Somebody asked what my shirt says. It's one of those Life is Good shirts, because like they had a
He's in love
giant
with
sale
them.
and I love them. And it says, chop your own wood and it will warm you twice, which I love that, right? It's going to warm you when you're doing the exercise to chop your wood.
Yeah.
And then it's going to warm you when you're actually burning it. Let's see. Mary said, that's my Costco trick, Rachel. You beat to telling me everyone. Totally works for the waist.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, at Costco you can't try anything on, and they sell a ton of clothes, right? Like, I guess because Costco has such a good return policy and a thrift store doesn't have any return policy, that I never thought about it. But yeah, like, how did you have to find ways. You're putting it up to yourself.
Unless you're me.
So we got 2 shirts at
Sam's Club
for him that were like the long sleeved go in the water shirts.
SPF 50 shirts.
Yeah.
Guy Harvey shirts.
He just
They're
really
like
likes
$50 a piece.
And they were $15 at Costco. And he's like, man, I don't want to have to take this back if it doesn't fit. So we just totally,
stripped down in the middle of the store.
Nothing but class. We took off his shirt and like put on his shirt, while I apologized profusely to every poor shopper that had to come down and see us, get naked in the hallway.
I wasn't naked. I had a sweater on my back.
But that was your hair. That's not the same thing. That's not an actual
oh my gosh.
Angora sweater.
So yesterday, we have 15 people here, and then the water slide company shows up to take down the water slide at exactly 7 o'clock.
Of course.
Right? And so all the kids, I say kids, but they're 20, they're adults.
They're all babies to us.
They see the guy pull up. So at one point, there's 10 people on the steps going
Not
up.
supposed to do
There's
that.
a big sign that says 1 person.
Don't do that.
So when they took it away, everybody went and jumped in the pool. So Sarah comes to me and she's like, hey, I need, like some towels for people. I'm like, okay, I got some towels. And I give her a couple of our Turkish towels. I'm like, these are going to look like they're not going to dry you, but they're the greatest towels ever.
Yeah.
Anthony comes in and he was like, they are horrible. I'm like, they dry you so fast, quick. And he's like, not your hair. You don't have any hair. I'm like, Anthony, I have more hair on my back than you have on your head.
It could be possible. And mom has even more hair on her back than you do. Son, no, that's not true.
Kaboodle said regenerative agriculture is so cool.
It really
Every
is.
species that lives on the land supports even other species, so it builds on itself. I love that. Was my favorite ride when you would go to Epcot, right?
Living on the land we all love. I love that. There was like another song before there was that song.
Yeah. Dawn said, I had all my family at our house for a week. Last evening, s'mores were happening. I indulged in the marshmallow and chocolate. I felt like garbage the next morning. That's
but you know
okay.
what? Dawn,
Just pick
today's
back
a
up.
new day.
Yep. Teresa said, Joe, does your cat like to sit on your 3D printer like ours says?
Our cat sits everywhere.
Well, my 3D printer is in the garage right now, which I cannot currently get to because we decided to. Let's hide everything.
Let's hide it.
So,
Hide those sins.
Plus, I fried the board. I touched 2 wires together. I'm waiting for the board, but the problem is there's no computer chips.
We
for
had
it
too
right
much construction dust to like just put it under a rug. We had to put it in a room.
Anthony and Kat said, watch Dr. Barry's live last Monday. He explained what he meant by 1-to-1. He looks at a steak and it should be half fat and half meat. Yes, if it's lean, he adds butter. He does better with fat.
Yeah.
But that's when he says half fat, half butter. That's why ribeye is the perfect food. It's half fat, half protein. So that's when you're talking about with meat. So that's what's so awesome about it. It's an eggs, another perfect food. It's a 1-to-1. If you have something lean, like chicken or something like that, like a chicken breast, that's going to be extremely lean. Now you're not getting any fat in there, and that's where you're going to add fat. But again, if you're trying to lose weight, you don't necessarily have to have that fat all the way up. You can have a little bit less fat. Homeostasis is 1-to-1. That's why we say set your goal for whatever your ultimate goal weight is. So if you are eating a 1-to-1 of, say, 150 grams of protein and 150 grams of fat, and you weigh 250 pounds, then you are going to eventually get to that because you're giving your body the homeostasis of what it needs.
Yeah.
Sally said, it's nice to have Monday off, and I can actually watch you guys live.
I'm so glad that you're here, Sally.
That's the end of the comments. Isn't that good?
We actually,
get off.
high five.
High five.
I love it.
Okay, what are we doing today? We're doing nothing, right?
We're doing a tremendous lot of towel laundry.
Towel laundry?
We do not have a towel. Don't need to take a shower because it's not happening. You're going to have to use a shirt or something.
Okay, well, we're going to get off. We thank everybody for joining us. And don't forget about the Chop Challenge. It's over on Facebook, on YouTube, it's over on our website.
It is.
As well as on Instagram, which I think you already put today's up, did you not?
Put today's up, but it's always, first thing in the morning on our website.
Yep. Don't forget about our live stream on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. If you haven't yet and you're interested in winning the Chow Club box for the month of June, which has a giant bag of, I believe it was chocolate peanut butter in it, that drawing is still going on. You have until Thursday. Head on over to that video. Make sure you like the video. You're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you leave a comment down below, and you have to live in the United States, and we will draw that winner during the live stream on Thursday.
Excited.
Have a great night, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.